I'm going to be going over my trades from Wednesday and today. And there's a lot of value that can be taken out of it. So I'm going to get right into it. So you can see these are my weekly stats for the week. And I did take 3 losers outside of that one winner I had from the 21st. But I'm going to be going over every reasoning and what made me get in and context behind all of this. So I'm gonna go over Wednesday first. Wednesday was this day. So what I was watching for on Wednesday was we were inside of bounds, so the context kind of remained unchanged from the prior day that I traded, and essentially same context. This is what the market looked like for me coming into Wednesday. I was watching to sell the high at the 42.50s or buy the low at the 2 O's. You can see here defense, 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 defense. And for the game plan, like I said, the scenario that triggered for me was the bounce high region at the 42.50s. If offers step in and I see trapped buyers at the highs and context aligns for short-term reversal, I was open to finding ways to play short, targeting the 3 5s first and then the 2 9s. So going over that context and entries. So we'll go over it. Uh, all right, so first entry from this day came from, damn, hold on. All right, my bad. So right here, I'm just updating my thoughts and process, and I was like simply waiting for an entry into my area of interest. And you can see here, I'm not perfect. I almost wanted to take entries without my area of interest hitting, but the best thing I did was I stayed patient into the 42.50. You can see here, we didn't offer at the 42.50. So one of my kind of rules, unwritten rules are I can't be taking, or actually it is my written rule. And it's I only trade my game plan. So if the area of interest doesn't hit, I'm not allowed to take a trade. And that in itself increases my hit rate overall. But you could see here from the context that whenever I tried some short on this high of daybreak, clean, perfect entry, and was only risking 1.25 points. You can see there's over a thousand. At the time I entered, there's 1,000 plus positive delta, but we were failing to move higher, and we were at the bounce high of the range, which was, I'll go over it on the TOS visual, which was right here. First entry on this pop up into the level, but I ended up stopping out of that for a 1.25 loss. You could see here, and then immediately after, I didn't put my head down, and you could see offer step back in again. So my stop loss got hit 4 3s, and they got filled, and we moved back down off of that again. So I got back in, and the risk was 1.5 points. You can see how small my risk is. And NQ was failing at the intraday high. And I'm just updating here. The market was lagging continuation, unfortunately, for this trade. And this is what I meant by the NQ was failing at the intraday high. So not only did we have the bounce high region, we also had NQ failing at the intraday high. And then I stopped out on this move up for a another small loss you could see here. Oh, sorry. First loss was 133, see 1.25 points. Second one was a 1.5 loss on 2ES. And unfortunately, on this day, it actually ended up working out in my favor. But I have a risk parameter that says that I have to stick to, if I take two losing trades in a row and go over two, I call it a day. And that rule has saved me so many more times often than not. But I did want to, obviously, I did have an urge to re-enter at this high of daybreak, and then we slammed back down. And like I said here, look, you can see even when I stopped out, I was like, I could see a scenario playing out like this at 8:23, and you could see here that's what ended up working out. We broke high of day, and like I said, from the pre-market plan, I was targeting the 3.5s, and we broke high of day. We slammed back under, hit that target, and then you can see sellers continue to defend 4.2, 4.2s, and boom. So I just had the right thesis, but I mistimed my entries, and sometimes that happens in trading. Like, you can't get upset at that because at the end of the day, again, you just need to manage your risk properly. Like, look at this loser, this is on two trades. Look at these two losers compared to this one winner right here. And that's the name of the game. And going over today's trade is another case where I took a really nice setup and just failed. And what you have to focus on is managing risk. And today I'm down 2.75 points, and I'm calling it a week to manage my risk as well, especially going into the long weekend. So I'll be going over that as well. Uh, so pre-market game plan. What I was watching for was the is what the market looked like for me, and the main piece of context that was important was when we break out of a range. So you could see Thursday I didn't trade, but Thursday we peaked above the 4.8s and we failed, and we tested the lower extremity, which was this '07 level, and we actually closed under it and got continuation off of that. So when we break out of a range, what you want to see is a sellers to defend that prior support now turn into resistance, because you want to see them accept outside of the range. But if we reclaim back above, that would mean responsive buyers stepping in, and we would fall back into this range. So what I was essentially watching for pre-market, which is the scenario that triggered for me, was 5307 prior balance low from the 5-day consolidation. I said if offers step in at that prior balance low, I was open to playing short, speculating this 7.4 demand will get tested, but I wanted to gravitate first towards this distribution, and then also watching for this prior value area high or low from yesterday's action. You can see here we filled the gap from that, and with a bunch of excess at the highs, proving that sellers are strong. But to go over what I drew up here before I get into the trade, just fully go over the context. This was a prior balance range that broke us out into the all-time high. So that was also a key inflection that I was watching for. You can see here it was a prior key inflection, turn support, and I had context aligning it with the VIX and NQ, and it was also a CPI demand zone coming in. So that's what I was using to gravitate towards for a target. So to go over the trade, I took for the day. There was 10 a.m. news. So, and one of my rules is to not. I can't take any trades before 10 a.m. And that's just a rule I have journaled and backed up with data that it's low probability. So I always stick by that. And so we're watching for the O7s, and at the open, there was some buying right into the O7s, and immediately offer stepped in and failed off of that. You can see here, I said literally at 6:37, possible selling, stepping in at the O7's prior support, and we've broke high of day, and then boom, we hit the 5,300 target that I was watching for. And context to align that, just to showcase it, was that we came into this IB high on the VIX and also lined with the 50%. So that was context aligning for the short side as well. But obviously, I unfortunately couldn't take that because it was prior to 7 a.m. But I didn't put my head down. I'm still watching for the same setup. And like I said 6:59. What I was watching for was a break above the O7s, but not above the 10s to play short into the 5,300 target first. And how that ended up developing was 7 a.m. news dropped, and you can see that wick. We failed. We broke high of day, and we failed. Took out those stops, and I got in short off of this reaction here, risking 2 ticks above high of day to make 7.25 points to the 5,300 target. And as I update myself, I was really confident this trade working out, especially seeing these sell sweeps down under it. And we continue to defend the O7s. You can see here, defense again, large sweeps. But at this point, I'm I was like, I may have mistimed my entry, but coming into this day, I was like, I'm gonna stick to my -1R for the day, and was going to stop out. And you can see here, I ended up stopping out on this move up, and where the market's trading now is above that level. So that scenario ended up not working out. But if I were to go back, I would still take that trade 10 out of 10 times because it's a quality setup. It's a part of my edge. All of these scenarios that I plan on in my pre-market plan, they are a part of my edge, and they're backed up with like years of data and screen time behind it. So I'm open to taking that again and again because at the end of the day, I'm confident the way I manage my risk. And you can see here, 2.75 points is nothing. Like it's a paper cut compared to the winner I would have had on that, which would have been a 7. It would have been like at least a 2.5R trade. And just goes to show with the lesson on risk management. Even though I took only won one trade out of the entire week and 3 losers, I was still able to end green for the week because of the way I managed my risk. And I just wanted to recap this to show and also to be transparent because with the trading industry, there's always that winning mentality where like you're supposed to win, 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 win. Like, no, you're supposed to, as traders, we're risk managers. And what you really need to focus on is how much am I risking? How many points am I risking? Or in dollar, or you can go by dollar amount too, versus how much am I going to make on this trade. And that's all that matters to longevitize your trading career. So just wanted to keep it updated and keep it real with that because I'm not perfect. And also, trading isn't perfect either. It's not an industry where you're going to win all of your trades. And if I were to go back, I still would have taken these trades 10 out of 10 times because, again, like I said, they're part of my edge and they're backed up by data. So I'm going to end that off. So if you guys enjoyed, feel free to let me know and I'll make more of these in the future. So I'm ending it off with that. So peace.